episode of the WIU Football Coaches Show alongside the head coach of the Western Illinois football team, Bob Nielsen. I'm Danny Fry. The Fighting Leathernecks stayed on track with a 40-21 family weekend win over South Dakota to move to 2-0 in MVFC play for the first time since 2010. Coach, the Coyotes hung around early, but how was the team able to pull away?
Well, we just kept playing, and playing consistently. Offensively might be our most consistent game of the year, and defensively, after giving up that opening drive, I thought we did a good job of bending a little bit, but not breaking, and keeping them out of the end zone.
Now let's take a look at those highlights in the first half. From family weekend, they walked to the stadium from the locker room, and the Leathernecks really came from the locker room ready to play. Slant to Lance Lenore to put WIU in the Coyote red zone. This is their first drive, and that would really set the tone through the air, Coach.
Yeah, big fourth down conversion play, getting us into the red zone, and we've been good in the red zone in terms of converting possessions to touchdowns.
Trenton Norvell then on the designed run, and Coach, really not a whole lot of designed runs for him so far, but here it ended up working.
Yeah, this was actually a read zone, followed up with a designed run for the touchdown, and Trent's done a good job of pulling the ball in the right situations and making plays with his feet.
Yeah, and sometimes teams don't necessarily have that in a scouting report for him. They just have him for his arm. And then here is the designed run up the middle. He's a wide open hole and scores. 7-0 Leathernecks, 11:02 left in the first quarter. And again, how important was it that your team scored on the opening drive of the game?
Well, we're coming out of the locker room and executing, and you want to do that. It's a big momentum boost to get that opening drive and take it down the field and score, and we've done that now for 5 straight quarters, and we need to keep doing that.
South Dakota looking to answer in their first drive. Ryan Sager completing his pass over the middle of the tight end Aaron Ramsey. And why did the Coyotes really start out strong in offense as well?
Well, they did some things that complicated some fits for us defensively in the run game, and we gave up 2 long third down conversions in that drive, that being one of them. That play you just saw being one of them. And opportunities to get them off the field is something that's got to be executed better.
On 1st and goal, the Coyotes tuck it off to Trevor Bama, who rumbles in from a 3-yard score. That ties the game with 5:04 left, and again, just a really sustained drive by South Dakota there.
Yeah, 14 plays, I think. Third down conversions were critical. We just weren't quite on par there defensively.
Well, they go right back on offense. The Leathernecks would. Norvell continuing to be the gunslinger, finds Javon Williams, and he's really grown into a valuable receiving target on those crucial third down opportunities. And then Nico Watson breaks through on this carry into the USD secondary, and again, a balanced offensive display.
Yep, Nico again, a big game for us. Opened up some opportunities for us to throw the ball downfield, which I thought Trent was on point with a lot of his deeper throws, including this one to Lance, who makes a good catch to keep his feet in bounds.
Yeah, any doubt in your mind? They went and reviewed this one. Any doubt in mind that he got the foot down?
Well, the guys up top said without question his feet were in, so you feel pretty good about that.
Then the extra point, no good, coming off of Nathan Knuffman of 250 left in the first quarter, and that's okay though, because he'd have a lot more opportunities to kick extra points after that. Just a little bit of a slip there. And then go back to the kicking game, this time for USD. Miles Bergner from 42 yards away misses it wide left. Not sure if the wind took that or what, Coach.
Might have. Kicker pulled it a little bit. Wind helped it along its way. Another good stop for us defensively to keep them from putting points on the board.
Then the Leathernecks would go back to the air. This ball put in a spot where only Lance Lenore could catch it. Lance really knows how to catch those balls if they're really in one fell swoop.
Great hands, and very strong hands. They're able to get up, pull this ball down. I thought Trent, on his deep passes all day, put the ball in great spots for our receivers to be able to make plays on them.
And good blocking again as the Leathernecks go back to the ground for that balanced offensive attack. A big run by Watson sets up the Leathernecks for a chip shot field goal by Knuffman, and good redemption there for him. 16-7 Leathernecks, 7:28 left in the second quarter. And you want those to be converted, and late in the first half, 4th down and 7 after a long injury timeout. Sager scrambles but is stopped short. That's a big stop for the defensive momentum before the half.
Yeah, getting the ball back there and allowing us to get one more possession before half. really helped swing the momentum to us as we went into halftime.
Couple big plays get the Leathernecks down the field and will set up a 38-yard field goal attempt by Nathan Knuffman, and his range has really improved. This one tucks in there, 19-7 WIU at half.
Good field goal to close the half. Good confidence builder for Nate too to make a little longer field goal. He's been bothered with an injury and showed that his leg was strong, and hopefully one we can rely on as we go further into the year.
Even though you couldn't punch it in the end zone, how pleased were you with those 2 field goals there at the end of the half to at least put some points on the board?
We talked during the week that points on every possession would be a premium. Scoring points, South Dakota had demonstrated to be a good defensive football team, and so getting points out of both of those possessions, even though they were only field goals, were critical.
The offense didn't have to punt at all in the first half. Why was it so effective?
Well, we're playing well. You know, we converted third downs. When we got off schedule, we made plays. Again, our balance has helped us there, and you know, that's going to be the challenge as we move ahead to this week, is to continue to have some balance offensively.
All right, stay tuned for the second half highlights after this. You're watching the WIU Football Coaches Show.
Western Illinois University allows you to think for yourself and to discover the freedom to become your own.
Own it at Western. Build your own expectations and fill your own shoes.
Explore an academic culture that adapts to you.
Create yourself and inspire originality in an open and safe environment.
Western Illinois University lets you make your own success story.
Think purple.
Think success.
Think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back to the WIU Football Coaches Show. I'm Danny Fry alongside Leatherneck head football coach Bob Nielsen. Up by 12 at half. It's not a bad cushion, but what did you tell your team to keep putting some points on the board?
Well, we knew the second half South Dakota would rally back. You know, good teams in our league do that. We had to keep executing. We felt we could play better defensively, and felt we did in the third quarter after that opening drive. But that was really the message, to execute better defensively and to keep going offensively.
And now the second half highlights from Macomb. Team jogging back onto the field, and you knew Joe Glenn would have his team ready to come out of the half. Man in motion and a long pass down the sideline to Eric Schuford, their main target last year. This is on the first drive of the half, near the 20s where he's dragged down. And were you expecting a pass like that to open up the half?
Well, unfortunately, we blew a coverage here. We had a miscommunication on a defensive call, which you never want to have, and corner thought he had help over the top, and he didn't. And credit to South Dakota, they converted.
10-yard touchdown run here by Jackson, and just like that, 35 seconds into the half, 2 plays, the Coyotes score. And what was the message to the defense at that point, all of a sudden in a one-possession game?
Well, you know, it wasn't a fact that they just controlled the football there. It was the fact that we gave up 2 big plays. And And defensively, I thought we did a good job of rallying our troops back, and that showed in the rest of the way we played throughout the course of the game.
The WRU offense ready to answer. 61-yard bomb down the sideline to Joey Borsellino. And, Coach, this time he wasn't stopped at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a standing joke for Joey to get tackled at the 1-yard line, and as you can see, he's fast enough there to get it all the way into the end zone.
Well, and here in USD's had problems all year of letting receivers get by him. That's secondary. That's pretty much exactly what happened there.
Well, we felt we had an opportunity that we could throw some deep balls if we could get matchups on their safeties, and that's what we were able to do a couple of different times, that play being one of them.
On the next drive, it's play action, and going over to Borsellino again near the sideline, and talk about how he made that catch, kind of stopped a little bit before he went out of bounds.
Great awareness of where he was on the field. We had a couple catches like this on the day, and Joey's really good at this, and tremendous play, keeps a drive alive for us.
What's your take on this run by Norvell, real just short of the touchdown? He kind of argued that he got in.
I thought he was in. They had replay. It must not have been an angle that allowed him to review it, and we got Nico Watson, so that's a pretty good spot to give the ball on the 1-yard line. Yeah,
if that doesn't work, just give it off to Watson for that touchdown. 8:08 remaining in the third quarter. Leathernecks would lead at that point 33-14, and getting towards the end of the third quarter, and that offensive line really working their tail off. They'll give plenty of time for Norvell to find Jalen Acklin, who broke away from his defender, and that's the first collegiate touchdown for Jalen, and well-deserved.
Yeah, Jalen's done a good job. He's been part of our regular rotation at wide receiver, and to see him get a big play was good. Again, great protection. Trent, again, putting the ball in a good spot behind their safety, and Jalen making a nice catch.
40-14 Leathernecks at that point at the end of the third quarter. On to the fourth quarter, the WIU defense wanted to get involved a little bit, and some of those second-teamers, guys that normally switch in and out, now in the game. Colin Olson forces a fumble from behind. Mick Nelson with the recovery. Nice to see some action for those guys, as they really had to fight for it at the bottom of this pile.
Yeah, pretty good wrestling match there, and the only turnover of the day that we forced, unfortunately, we turned the ball right back over to them on this possession, where we could have, really blown the game wide open. But I thought we finished well and controlled the game throughout the fourth quarter.
Well, you mentioned the turnovers. It was a pretty disciplined game all the way around by both teams.
Yeah, two teams that understand the importance of turnover margin. South Dakota came in with a good turnover margin themselves, and neither team was able to generate a lot of turnovers on the day.
Devin Moore, you mentioned this fumble. Devin Moore in the game gets the ball stripped after he had a couple nice runs earlier. Recovered by South Dakota's Mogg, and it's similar to another fumble Moore had versus EIU, where it just got ripped right out of his clutches.
Yeah, and disappointed that it happened. He was running to try to get an extra yard or two, and what this allowed them to do is get good field position to be able to set up their last touchdown.
Yeah, and other than that, you guys really did play good field position football, something you wanted to do, and this was a touchdown pass to Van Rokel, leaping over his defender, and defending this, not a whole lot you can do.
No, we lose our footing there at corner, and ends up being an easy score for them.
And then the Leathernecks just control it and wind down the clock. Victory formation for Sean McGuire and company. Kneel it down, and that would be a Leatherneck victory, 40-21. As we take a look at the final box score, Trenton Norvell didn't have to throw it a lot. He didn't need to, but still put up 288 yards, 3 touchdowns. Nico Watson, surprisingly, that's his low rushing total so far this year, 139 yards, put it in from a yard out. And Adam Brott, very nice day. We'll talk about him in a little bit. 10 tackles, 2 tackles for loss on the USD side. Just really couldn't get a whole lot going. Sager, not too bad throughout the air in the Leathernecks 40-21 victory. And Coach, go back to Trenton Norvell. He had several strikes down the field, and how much of that was kind of worked on in practice leading up to the game?
Well, we do spend a lot of time in practice throwing deep balls. We understand that's a big part of our offense, and And that was the one thing on Saturday, was the accuracy of those longer throws. And I think we had 4, 5, 6 of them on the day that Trent put the ball in a great spot and our receivers made plays.
Defensively, Brett Taylor in double digits again on tackles. He had 10, but this time he had some help from Adam Brott. And how important is it to have the linebacking core playing so well together?
Well, in our defense, those linebackers end up having to make a lot of plays. And, you know, Adam has a guy that didn't have the playing experience that Brett had the year before is improving. I think the first half was a game that I think our linebackers would like to have back. I don't think we played as well as we played in some of the earlier weeks, but it was nice to see the step up by that group in the second half.
Now, what adjustments were made on defense after USD's opening drive there in the second half specifically?
It wasn't a lot of adjustments. I don't think we played as physically as we were capable of playing, and we missed a few fits, and we missed some tackles. That was the disappointing thing, is that we missed some tackles. We had the quarterback sacked a couple of times and let him break contain, and you know, those are the kinds of plays that you got to make to be a really good defensive football team.
Those definitely made a difference. More on the way next. You're dialed in to the WIU Football Coaches Show.
Founded in 1985, the Missouri Valley Football Conference has established a tradition of FCS football excellence. Competing at the highest level at NCAA Division I, student athletes at its 10 institutions demonstrate character, passion, and integrity as they grow as a student, an athlete, and a citizen. The Missouri Valley Football Conference, where leaders are shaped and champions are forged.
I always knew I would be a leatherneck. Western was the only university I applied to. The educational opportunities at Western provided me experiences and lessons in leadership and service. The faculty and staff at Western genuinely care about the students, and I know that choosing WIU is key to the beginning of my success story. Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back to the WIU Football Coaches Show. I'm your host, Danny Fry. Football teams are often judged by one position, quarterback. Ever since he transferred to Western Illinois from Cincinnati, Trenton Norvell has started and improved while chasing down records.
I had to look back at myself a little bit and just kind of reevaluate and look at some film from last year and just kind of reevaluate how I did things, and just one of those things, just go and have fun and, you know, enjoy practice and enjoy playing in the game, so stuff like that.
He's doing a great job. I mean, our whole offense started off to a little slow start, but I mean, that happens sometimes. But we started clicking in Coastal Carolina and started getting our groove going, and I mean, ever since then, I think we've really been clicking a lot. I mean, we're showing how efficient and how good of an offense we can be. He's doing a great job making his reads and getting to the ball to us on the outside and letting us, you know, do what we can do.
He's a guy that can throw it all over the field without question, and really his mobility has been something that's really helped us the last couple of weeks. You know, running the ball. Believe it or not, he's led the team in yards per carry the last 2 weeks. A little bit skewed there, but just his mobility and overall, you know, his confidence in using that has been big for us.
Norvell is climbing the record books at WIU, but that is something the team isn't as focused on at the moment.
Not necessarily. I mean, I guess it's there, but it's just one of those things where you go out and play, have fun, and those will all come, so it's just one of those things.
I really like to think about it. I mean, we'll come off of the field after the game and be like, oh, will you look at that? I mean, we don't really talk about it. I mean, that's not really what we're thinking about. I mean, we just like to go get that win, and that's really all we're focused on. That's our only goal we've ever been.
Norvell, Borsellino, and junior receiver Lance Lenore have been with each other for 3 years, building their relationship.
Well, Joey, Lance, and I have been together for 3 years now, so we definitely have a connection since, you know, we first got here in the summertime and once we all stepped on campus. And all those other guys are really reliable, so just, you know, getting those guys the ball and having them make plays is awesome to see as a quarterback. And, you know, I'm confident in all those guys to go out and make plays.
I think it was huge. I mean, that's when we came in together. I mean, I mean, just playing for together, this is our 3rd year now, it just shows. I mean, you just have confidence, and when you have confidence in your teammates out there, it just allows you to play better. You know, I could look outside and know Lance is going to make that block or make the catch when it goes his way, and Trenton's going to put the ball in the right spot, make the right read. I mean, when you have people like that you know and play with and, you know, have a good feel for, it just allows you to even play better. Just
understanding the system that the offense has, and, you know, talking with Coach Lofke, and, you know, just going and meet with him individually just to get him through things and figure out how the offensive playbook works out and stuff like that.
With his experience, he's able to grasp things, and, you know, really the in-game conversations that we get to have about what they're doing defensively and how we can combat that. He's been great adjustment-wise during the games and getting that stuff executed.
After seemingly being stopped at the 1-yard line all the time, Porcelino sealed the deal against South Dakota.
That's funny, we make jokes about that all the time. I mean, I was saying I've been stopped on the one almost probably, we counted, me and Coach Lofke counted, it was probably 8 times in my career here. I would almost have the touchdown reception record if I didn't get stopped that many times. But I mean, yeah, and then when Trenton got tackled on the one there, I ran out on the field and said, "Join the club, buddy." I mean, we make jokes, we're always messing around about that.
Coach, your first year here was also Trenton's first year as a redshirt freshman. Talk about what you saw in him at that point.
Well, he had all the physical tools, and I think the one thing that you want to see in your quarterbacks, which he had too, was a kind of confidence that it takes to play that position.
Now, he's kind of been on a hot streak lately. You know, how can he stay consistent throughout the year?
Well, he just has to continue to work hard. He's made a lot of improvement over the course of his first 2 years. I make the statement that it goes from running the offense to managing the offense, and I think that's where he's at right now. He's not just running the offense, he's managing the offense and getting the ball and distributing it and making good decisions, and now he needs to keep working every week as we prepare to be able to do that week after week.
And let's take our last break of the show, but stay tuned. It's up next. Coach and I will preview the conference road clash at Northern Iowa.
I chose Western because it reminded me of home and for its outstanding forensic chemistry program. My classes and academic experiences give me the knowledge I'll need for my career. The programs at Western teach me to lead and contribute to my community. I know my choice is the beginning of my success story. Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
Western Illinois University allows you to think for yourself and to discover the freedom to become your own.
Own it at Western. Build your own expectations and fill your own shoes.
Explore an academic culture that adapts to you.
Create yourself and inspire originality in an open and safe environment.
Western Illinois University lets you make your own success story.
Think purple.
Think success.
Think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back to the WIU Football Coaches Show. It's time to check in on how the Missouri Valley football teams performed last weekend. In Week 6 action, North Dakota State held off Western's opponent this week, Northern Iowa, 31-28. Similar score with one of the top teams in the league, Illinois State topping Youngstown State, 31-29, Stambaugh Stadium. And then, not a typo, Southern Illinois putting a 73 spot on the Missouri State Bears, winning 73-26. And now the games on the docket this week in the Valley. Some games of note for sure. South Dakota State traveling to Youngstown State, and you got that in-state rival again, or the Dakota rival, I should say, South Dakota traveling to Fargo to take on the Bison. The Missouri Valley Football Conference schedule really turns on for Western now, starting with a trip to Cedar Falls, Iowa against the UNI Panthers. So far, all 3 Leatherneck wins are at Hanson Field and both losses on the road. What needs to be done to change in a tough environment like the Unidome?
We have to be prepared to play in an environment that's going to be loud. We work hard on our communication system all the time during practice, and I think we're ready for that part of the challenge. We have to elevate our play. Playing on the road is different than playing at home. At the same time, you have to do the same things to win.
Differences, if any, in playing in a dome? First time this year doing that?
There's some things in terms of judging the ball, I think, against the roof, and we'll go up and when we get into town on Friday and let our specialists field a few punts and kicks and get used to the lighting that's in the dome.
Now, the Panthers have lost 2 in a row, and arguably the 2 toughest teams in the conference, Illinois State and North Dakota State, and they try to counter that with on offense. They have Illinois transfer Aaron Bailey, another dual threat quarterback Western's matched up with. Kind of the same game plan to stop that type of dual threat quarterback you've seen?
Well, it seems to be kind of a repeating theme that we're seeing dual threat quarterbacks, and Bailey, very gifted runner, a guy that you have to account for in the run game. He's capable of making big plays with his feet.
Brett McMakin leads the tackles on a Panther defense that can get to the quarterback. That name sounds familiar because his brother Cale is also a linebacker for the Leathernecks, and should be a fun little matchup there.
Yeah, their defense is without question the best defensive team that we've faced since Illinois, and has a lot of the same personnel characteristics, I think, as the Illinois defense. So we've got to execute. We certainly have to be a team that executes on all cylinders and be ready for a physical challenge.
And now let's send it off here and get ready for kickoff in Cedar Falls. It's set for 4 o'clock versus the 2-3 Northern Iowa Panthers. For Coach Nielsen, I'm Danny Fry. Thanks again for watching.